In today's video, we're going to test out two identical bat models to see if the Endloaded version or the balanced version hits a slow pitch softball harder. All right, so first I want to thank my friends at justbats.com. They sent me two identical Axe Disturbance models. This green one is Endloaded. This pink one is balanced. They're both 34-27s. This is a really good bat. These are like $320, something like that, price point wise. And these bats do crush the ball. So really like them. I've swung them a bunch in games, both models. So me and my friend are going to test these out. And the reason we're making this video is because the slow pitch softball bat scene is crazy. There's so many options. 4 different weights, Endloaded or balanced, 1-piece or 2-piece. So we're going to test out these two and see if there's a difference in exit velocity. We're going to hit off the tee. We've got our tag radar gun set up. And we're going to see like, hey, maybe we hit 2 miles per hour harder with the Endloaded versus the balanced, or maybe vice versa. We're not really sure. But obviously the anecdote in slow pitch softball is that balanced bats are more for contact hitters and Endloaded bats are more for power hitters. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is batted ball exit velocity. So if you hit the ball harder with a balanced bat than you do an Endloaded bat, then this bat's better for power, right? We're going to jump to it. We're going to test out Endloaded versus balanced and see if there's a clear winner. All right, so real quick housekeeping. Both bats are USA, ASA stamped. We're hitting 352 core balls, so that's an important little detail. Let's start with the Axe Disturbance. So this is one of my favorite bats that I use in 2025. It's on sale now, so it's a really excellent deal. It's like $70 off. It's a $300, $20 price point. Now, you get a lot of pop for the money. It's very forgiving. You can miss hit, still hit the ball out. It swings true to weight in my experience. I think it's a really easy bat to swing. I personally prefer the Axe handle. I think it's anatomically better. I just feel better swinging it, so that's my preference. If you haven't swung an Axe bat, I do recommend you give it a try, but there's tons of really good bats, and you do get what you pay for $300. So let's quickly talk about the averages. You know, I was upper 80s, low 90s. Same for Andrew. He hits a little bit harder than I do. Now let's talk about the Axe Disturbance balanced. This was one of my team's favorite bats. I'm pretty liberal about just letting guys use my bats, and everyone really, really likes both of these, but the pink one especially for guys who didn't have as much home run power. It's a really easy bat to wield. It also swings true to weight. It's not heavy, and the sweet spot is really, really big, and there's some really good pop off the barrel. So it's really a top-notch bat. So if you are unfamiliar with either of the Disturbance bats, they're really excellent in my mind and highly worth the money. All right, so results here. You can see I hit about the same, a little tick slower. Andrew hit about a tick faster, but no real statistical difference. Now, final comparison, you can see that we're both basically the same on both bats, so we really didn't find any statistical difference. All right, let's talk conclusions. Endloaded versus balanced bats. So we didn't really find a big difference between the Endloaded and the balanced bat. We both hit the ball about the same velocities. We were in the upper 80s to low 90s with both of them. I personally lift the ball a little better in games with the Endloaded bat, so for me, that's more my takeaway conclusion. But we were hoping to find, hey, like, yeah, we hit the ball 2 miles an hour harder consistently than this one, but we just didn't find that. We were pretty consistent with both. So really, I think it comes down to if you're thinking of choosing an Endloaded slow pitch bat versus a balanced slow pitch bat, really you just want to go with what you feel comfortable with. For me, with balanced, I feel like my hands shoot through the zone too fast, and I tend to hit more line drives even when I'm trying to lift the ball. And with the Endloaded bat, I feel like it gives me a little more length to my swing. In a good way, it feels like it stays connected with my body a little bit better, and I definitely can lift the ball a little bit more. Now, Endloaded bats can be problematic for some people because with that extra weight at the end, it can be easier for you to start to like lose control of the barrel because in a lot of ways, it's just like a lighter sledgehammer. More of the weight in the balanced bat is towards the handle, so it's easier to control and to find that sweet spot, especially as you get more fatigued. So I think a lot of it is about knowing yourself. And how do I hit when I'm fresh? How do I hit when I'm on the third game of a long Saturday? You know, how do I hit if I'm approaching the 6th at bat in a game, right? And I've had a long week. It's Friday. I've already played a couple nights, whatever it is. So I don't think there's a real statistical significant difference here. I think the biggest thing is what you're comfortable with, finding a bat that's in your price range and that you feel you can consistently find the sweet spot with. That seems like the biggest thing. I wish we'd found something, you know, a little more of a conclusion. But at the end of the day, that's how me and my good friend both felt. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the description below. I'd love to hear from you. I get a lot of ideas from my audience. And again, thank you to justbats.com for stocking me with great equipment to make videos like this one. Thanks again. I'll see you here in the next video.